The private sector has been tasked to work in unison with government to implement critical national development programs. Indeed, the theme for this year's trade fair was entitled Inclusive Growth Through Partnership, reflects some aspects of PAGE, a development blueprint the government is working on.
The concept of inclusive growth should be seen as a process whereby every Gambian, regardless of age, gender, and economic status, is contributing to and benefiting from the country's economic growth. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment has therefore appropriately interpreted this year's theme in line with our core mandate of facilitating the creation of the right business environment to promote private sector growth and development. The Gambia's private sector is characterized by micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, in short MSMEs, which serve as a major source of employment, yet faced with considerable challenges such as low productivity and low income, thus minimizing their impact on poverty reduction.
Over the years, GCCI had tried to encourage meaningful business ventures to explore the opportunities the trade fair present to them. Minister of Presidential Affairs and Civil Service and Secretary General Office of the President, Mamadou Sabali, said he was impressed with what he has seen so far.
Of late, I've seen some very impressive moves. It's long overdue, though, because from day one, from His Excellency the President took over the country, he emphasized the needs for young people to take initiatives and be responsible and responsive to the development of the country. It took some time for many people to respond to the call, but what I'm seeing right now is very impressive and promising.
I am pleased to welcome our international participants, especially His Excellency the Indonesian Ambassador from Dhaka and his team. We also have participants from China, Malaysia, Pakistan, Lebanon, Turkey, Syria, India, the Netherlands. And from the region, we have participants from Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and our dear brothers from Senegal.
To add color and shape to this year's trade fair is this innovation. A horse cart mounted with a horse is being promoted as a made in Gambia product. This is supposed to be a community ambulance. Well, every year brings in new products and services, innovations. This trade fair 2014 by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry is promising to be even more attractive than previous ones. And here at the Independence Stadium, a lot of people are trying to look at some of the product displayed here with a lot of admiration. Ibrahim Balde reporting for Grts at the Independence Stadium.
Amid the challenges, for the seventh time, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry has spearheaded the trade fair, fulfilling a critical pillar of their mandate. The good thing about the trade fair is that it has widened the scope of local entrepreneurs, where consumers are given a platform to choose what they want to buy. Mama Jay takes a closer look at expectations from the GCCI perspective.
Business operators here are not new to the consumers. They are regular as far as the GCCI is concerned. This means that competition for sale is likely going to play out in the coming weeks. The opening ceremony is usually symbolic with a record attendance of dignitaries from the government, private sector, and prominent business tycoons. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry jointly organized this program with its development partners such as government and other affiliate partners. It is a dream of meaningful business operators to tap this opportunity, something that brings the people and the business under a common platform.
This is one of the most pleasant moments we have interacting with the business community, and I see that from the statements of their president and also recent actions they've been taking, they are heeding government's call for investment and business that does not only benefit the traders but also the clientele. I think government's main priority is inclusive development that benefits everybody. So if the businessmen and women are also talking about inclusiveness in their business model, I think that's very gratifying, and I want to say thank you to them and congratulations for yet another beautiful trade fair.
As far as Asia, this year's edition has a mixed bag of participants. Though some of them are not new to trade fairs, they are here to navigate. And from the GCCI standpoint, expectations are always high.
The trade fair gives an opportunity for businesses to come and present their products. That's the first part that we like to promote. And secondly, it's also so that they can actually engage each other. And thirdly, certainly for trading opportunities. So all these are opportunities that we certainly want to encourage all these members to take. Of course, there will be some that would always like to come on board each year. And we have more and more so that perhaps in the next 2-3 years, we'll be celebrating 500 members exhibiting at these shows.
Participating in trade fairs is not capital-intensive venture. Usually, such exhibition starters compete with the big guns. Aliu Seka said the GCCI is consolidating the gains recorded so far and is looking forward to improving standards in the years to come.
We're particularly pleased this year because it's the largest number of exhibitors that we have this year. We have over 260, including over 50 from international. So it shows that from year to year, it's growing from strength to strength, to the point where the minister has suggested now it should be actually an international trade fair. So we're very pleased that it provides an opportunity for inclusive discussions, partnerships and growth in business and trading.
Like the previous editions, the 2014 trade fair is expected to run for 3 consecutive weeks, and during this period, business operators are expected to sell goods at relatively cheaper prices. Unlike the normal market sales, trade fair feature amazing mix-ups, where consumer goods, technology items, and fashion freaks share a common platform. Mama J, Grts.
A 2-day regional workshop on engaging religious leaders towards ending harmful traditional practices against women recently ended in the country. The convergence aims to put an end to the misconceptions about FGM and Islam, brought together participants from Mauritania, Senegal, Guinea, and the Gambia. Edna Musa reports.
The elimination of all forms of discrimination against women and the Convention on the Rights of the Child calls on state parties to eliminate harmful traditional practices. And the African Union Protocol on the Rights of Women in Africa explicitly calls on states to prohibit and condemn FGM through awareness creation and enacting laws in order to eliminate the practice. The Gambia has ratified these legal instruments over the years, and members of relevant ministries, parliamentarians, and civil society actors have dedicated attention to discussions on measures to be undertaken to fulfill these obligations. GAMCOTRAP is a non-government organization whose aim is to create and raise consciousness of men and women about traditional practices that negatively affect the health of children and women, whilst encouraging positive practices as well as protecting the rights of children and women.
The overall goal of this regional dialogue is to put an end to the misconceptions about FGM and Islam. In this regard, we hope that the 2 days dialogue will form a correct perspective on FGM and Islam.
Dr. Toure went on to say that when a scholar's view conflicts with the provision of the Quran and authentic Sunnah, these views cannot be accepted, and called on Muslim scholars to take the lead in the fight towards ending FGM in the country.
Religious scholars, because they command respect and influence in their communities, are the best suited people to delink FGM from Islam and to educate their communities about its harm.
Fatou Kinte of UNFPA said that condemning all forms of violence against women and girls should be our priority if we are to achieve sustainable development, human rights, economic growth, and social cohesion.
Partnership between UNFPA and GAMCOTRAP has been further strengthened through the joint UNFPA-UNICEF program for the accelerated abandonment of FGMC. Through this, increasing numbers of communities, including circumcisers, women, men, religious and traditional leaders, and youth, are abandoning FGMC through public declarations.
Nene Toure, deputizing for the Executive Director Women's Bureau, harps on the various strides made by the government to end gender-based violence.
The government of the Gambia has provided the enabling environment for the advancement and protection of Gambian women and girls. As far as FGMC is concerned, there is still need for more sensitization